So the bone in my hand is the sacrum. Now it is made up of 5 sacral vertebrae which are united together to form this triangular bone. Now this is a modified vertebra with many features which are modified. So here you have the first sacral vertebra and below you have the fifth sacral vertebra. So total S1 to S5 will unite to form the sacrum. There are two main parts of the sacrum. This is called as the base of the sacrum. This is the apex of the sacrum, and there are two surfaces. This is the pelvic surface. This is the dorsal surface, and there are two lateral surfaces. Okay. Now the base of the sacrum is formed by the first sacral vertebra with many modifications. The body of the first sacral vertebra is lumbar in shape, and it projects slightly forwards, and it forms a projection which is called as sacral promontory. Okay. The transverse processes are highly modified and they form what is called as the ala of the sacrum. Ala means wings. Okay, so these are the transverse processes which are going to be modified and they will form the ala. Then the pedicles are here. You can see the pedicles of the first sacral vertebra, and the laminae of the first sacral vertebra will fuse to form the first dorsal spine. So this is the first sacral vertebra. Now here you can see the superior articular facets of the first sacral vertebra which are going to articulate with L5 and form the lumbosacral joint. So this is the base. So what are the modifications here? The body is lumbar in shape with a projection anteriorly which is called as the promontory. The transverse process becomes modified to form the ala of the sacrum. The pedicles are here and the laminae will fuse to form the first spine, and these are the superior articular facets which are going to fuse with the L5 to form lumbosacral joint. The apex of the sacrum is formed by the fifth sacral vertebra, and here it has a facet for articulation with the coccyx, and it forms the sacrococcygeal joint. Okay. Now there are two main surfaces here. This is the pelvic surface which is concave, and the dorsal surface which is convex. The pelvic surface is characterized by the presence of 5 sacral foramina which are called pelvic sacral foramina. Okay, and this middle portion of the pelvic surface is related to the rectum. Okay, and below it will be continue as the anal canal. Okay, so that is the pelvic surface. The dorsal surface has many characteristics. There are many modifications, meaning these 5 sacral vertebrae are united to form, which gives the shape of the dorsal surface. In the midline you will see this. These are the dorsal spines, the spines of all the sacral vertebrae. Besides that, you can see this area. These are the fused laminae. These are the fused laminae. Then you can see this in line with the superior articular facets. You have, these are called articular tubercles. Okay, and then you will have here, these are called transverse tubercles. I'll repeat one more time. These are called the dorsal spines. Then these are the fused laminae. These are the articular tubercles, and these are transverse tubercles. Okay, that is the characteristic of dorsal surface. Now one very important thing, the lamina of fifth sacral vertebra fails to fuse, and it forms an opening here which is called as sacral hiatus. Okay, and the inferior articular facets of this is called as sacral cornu. Okay, so this opening is called as sacral hiatus, and this is called as sacral cornu. Okay, so this is about the pelvic surface and the dorsal surface. Now the lateral surface of the sacrum has this part. This is the auricular part which is going to articulate with the ilium, with the auricular surface of the ilium, and it is going to take part in the formation of sacroiliac joint. Then you can see a projection here where the sacrum turns inside. This is called as lateral sacral angle. Okay, so these are the main osteological features of the sacrum. Okay.